Right, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, madam.
Yes, teacher.
Alhamdulillah. All right, so our session for today, okay, will be, okay, as mentioned earlier, on thesis statement and topic sentences. These two are very important, especially in writing task 2. Okay, and this is a collaboration between me, okay, and Madam Nozahia. Right, first of all, my name is Hazlina Abdul Rahman, and I've been teaching in CILLC many years, right? And this is something that I feel that should be shared with all of you as students, so that you can write a good thesis statement as well as topic sentences. Right, so basically what we are going to cover in this session will be divided into two parts. The first part will be thesis statement. Okay, I will talk about, or I will give you some information about thesis statement. Then we will do a short exercise, right? Followed by the next part, which is part 2. We will cover topic sentences, and at the end of it, we shall do just a short exercise. So hopefully we have the time to discuss some of the exercises, and then we shall have the question and answer sessions at the end of the workshop, okay, at the end of the session, inshallah. So the objectives of today's session are, so hopefully at the end of the workshop, all of you would be able to write effective thesis statements and also write good topic sentences. So in that case, right, I want you to be reminded that these are the only focus of my talk today. We may not have the time to cover some other things. However, if you wish to ask some questions, we will try our best. Me and Madam Zahia will try our best to answer the questions. Right. So the first part is thesis statement. Right. So I would like to ask you, what is a thesis statement? I hope that you can respond to me verbally, as I cannot see you at the moment as I am presenting the screen. So what is a thesis statement? What do you know about thesis statement?
Discussing about something.
Discussing about something, okay. Anyone has a different answer?
Sentences consist of ideas.
Okay, sentences consist of ideas, okay. Right, that's good. That's a good start. Summarize
the topic.
Summarize the topic, okay. Any more? Okay, very good. Right, so I think all of you have some sort of a background knowledge of what is a thesis statement. So basically, a thesis statement is a sentence that states the main idea of your whole essay. Yeah, so we focus on thesis statement, which is the main idea of your whole essay. Now, where do we find the thesis statement? It is actually the last sentence of your introduction. Right, so before I move on, okay, how many paragraphs do we need to write in writing task 2?
4 paragraphs.
Yes, 4 paragraphs. Very good. So we have the first one, introduction, body 1, body 2, and the conclusion. So the thesis statement is the last sentence in your introduction. Okay? Right. So what do we need to have in a thesis statement? So going back to what you have answered earlier, some of you said we need to have ideas, we need to have stand, we need to have, main focus. So basically, a thesis statement, okay, we have 3 things in a thesis statement. Number 1 is what we call a stance. Number 2, a topic. And number 3, the controlling ideas or focus. So let's look at each of the elements now. Number 1. Number 1 is what we call a stance. Right. So what is a stance actually? It is basically, or some people call it a stand. But actually, this is what we call in a proper English, we call it stance, right? It is basically a statement to show your feelings or opinion about something. So how do you feel about something? You can show your agreement or disagreement towards the topic. Now, to show agreement, okay, in general, you can always say, I believe, okay, or in my opinion, right? But to show agreement, you can also say I agree or it is agreed that, right? To show disagreement, we can use I disagree or it is disagreed that. Now, let me ask you a question. What is the difference between I agree and it is agreed that?
Passive and
Anyone would like
active.
to try? Okay, one is active and the other one is?
Passive.
Yes, passive form. So I agree is active form and it is agreed is a passive form. They both of them are correct. So you don't need to worry. So it is okay if you want to choose I agree or I believe. On the other hand, if you choose to write it is agreed that or it is disagreed that, it is also okay. It is not a big problem. Right, after the stance, so the first one, we have what we call a stance. Yeah, you must have a stance to show in the thesis statement. Number 2 is the topic. Why topic is very important? Okay, number 1, we get the topic from the question. Okay, and of course, when we want to show the stance, we agree or disagree with, we must say, what do we agree to or disagree to? Okay, what do we agree with or disagree with? You cannot just say, I agree. It is not complete. So we must put the topic. So where do we find the topic? From the question. So sometimes the question is very simple. Okay? Students should wear uniform to school. What is your opinion? Okay, that is a very simple question. However, if you look at previous papers, sometimes they give the question in a very long statement. So how do we know which one that we need to agree with or disagree with? So if the question is long, you find the statement before the question, what is your opinion? Sometimes they give you a little bit of situation. Right, for instance, traveling, is a very good activity. Some people travel with their friends, while some people travel with their family. So what is your opinion? So it goes back to the statement before the question, that is traveling with family or traveling with friends. Okay, so what do we have to do? Right, I always encourage my students personally to identify and highlight the keywords in the topic so that you are focused on what you want to write. Okay. Now, next one. The last part of the elements in a thesis statement is what we call controlling ideas. What do we mean by controlling ideas? These ideas control or focus. Make your essay more focused, right? Since we are writing 2 body paragraphs, so it means that you are giving the reasons for your opinion. So we know the readers will have an idea that, okay, you agree, for instance, to this topic, and these are your reasons. Reason number 1 reflects your body 1. And reason number 2 reflects your body number 2. Okay, so it gives you not only the reader the focus, it also helps you as a writer to be more aware of what you should write. So if these are your reasons, you are only going to write about this reason only. You do not need to write about some other things. Yeah. So we have all the elements. So how do we write a thesis statement? Okay. So the first step, I always encourage all of you to start off with brainstorming. Okay, what does it mean by brainstorming? You want to find or you want to generate as much ideas as you can. Right, some people prefer to draw a mind map. Okay. However, some of us may not be good in drawing, and our mind map may not be as effective as what we see as examples online. So another way to prepare or to brainstorm for ideas is to draw a table or a simple table with 2 columns. So we have agree and we have disagree. 1 column for agree and 1 column for disagree. So what do we do with this? Right, in my opinion, okay, it is good for you to list down at least 3 reasons for each opinion. Okay, and I would encourage you to use keywords because you are not going to write the whole essay in this table. It is just to help you to gain more ideas on what to write. So you prepare 3 reasons for agree, and then you look at another three reasons for disagree. Right, so what do we do next? What do we do with these reasons? There's so many. So we have 3 reasons to agree and 3 reasons for disagreement. So what do we do with these? So in my opinion, okay, step 2, we choose the best reasons and then the stance. Okay, so in order for you to choose the best reasons, sometimes, okay, maybe in step 1, your reasons are unclear. You may write just 1 word. Yeah, so what do we do in step 2? We may want to expand the keywords. What does it mean by expand the keywords? You may want to write more keywords. Instead of noun or 1 word, you may want to write a few words. You can write phrases or you can write clauses. Then next step is for you to choose the best 2 reasons. How do you know these 2 reasons are the best? These are the reasons that you have knowledge or ideas about. Okay? And what do we mean by this? It means that you have examples and you know how to explain the reasons, okay, based on the knowledge that you have. Then only after you have decided the 2 reasons, you choose your stance, agree or disagree. Right. Okay. I find this method very useful because, you see, many students, in my experience, many students start choosing their stance from the very beginning. So you have limit yourself to only one side of the opinion. So for instance, when you read the question, okay, for instance, eating home cooked food is better than eating food that we buy outside. So when you agree that you say, okay, I agree that eating home cooked food is better. So you just focus on agree and you only look at one side. However, if you present the table, okay, when you prepare for 3 reasons, you can actually look at both sides. Okay, so you never know. You may have more reasons or more knowledge to disagree, right? So, having said that, I want you to be brave. I do not want you just to look at one side. it is also okay for you to disagree to certain topics. Sometimes it is even better to disagree because for certain topics, many students or many people will choose agree instead of disagree. So why not you choose the other way around? Okay, so that is why, okay, I always say prepare your reasons, both sides, and then you choose the best reasons, then only you decide your stance, to agree or to disagree. Now what do we do with that? So we have the stance, we have the topic, and we have the two reasons. So we combine all these. Right. Is that enough? We have one more important element for you to remember. Remember the last one, the two reasons. Okay, the two reasons must be parallel. I think all of you have been taught all this. So what does this mean? Okay, parallelism or parallel structure, okay, in short, okay, it means repetition of a chosen grammatical form within a sentence. Okay. It means that when you have two or more ideas in a sentence, you need to follow the same grammatical pattern. So when you follow the same grammatical pattern, it means that you have created a parallel structure. Right? It means that when we are writing this opinion essay, remember we have to present two reasons. Am I right? In the thesis statement. So your two reasons must be similar in grammatical structure to make it parallel. Right? Okay, so don't worry about this. This is taken from level 5 textbook. I am just I just took a screenshot a little bit. So don't worry about it. We will look at more example after this. Okay, so the parallelism can be done in 3 different ways. Number 1 is what we call at word level. Number 2, phrase level. Number 3, clause level. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, okay, I do not have the time to cover what is word, what is phrase. So perhaps in your writing class earlier, your teacher may have covered a little bit on sentence structure. Okay, so at word level, so how do we do this on word level? So for instance, if we look at this sentence, Australia's tertiary educational system and the one in the Philippines have similarities in admission, number 1, idea number 1, admission, qualifications, idea number 2, and their session, idea number 3. So we have one word, noun, there. The second one, qualification, also a noun. But the third reason is their sessions. So this makes it non-parallel. How can you suddenly have the word there before the word sessions? So what do we do to make it parallel? We change or we delete the word there and it becomes Australia's tertiary educational system and the one in the Philippines have similarities in admission, qualifications, and sessions. So we use noun, noun, and noun. So that is what we call word level. So we change all the reasons into one word. Okay? Can you follow so far?
Yes.
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Right. Number 2, we go a little bit more difficult, which is phrase level. What does it mean by phrase? We have 2 or more words joined together. For instance, if we look at the example here, language students tend to speak their own language and watching. Now you see the first reason, to speak. Second reason, ing, watching. So we cannot have one to and the other one ing. They are not parallel. So we change it to speak and then watch. We do not need to repeat the word to. So we say language students tend to speak their own language and watch 2 videos from their home countries. So we change after to, right? Infinitive, we always use the base form of verb. So to speak and then to watch. Okay. Now we look at number 3, clause level. Clause is more complicated with more words tied together, okay, to form a clause. Okay, it is slightly longer than a phrase. So if we look at this example, international students in Malaysia were reminded that they should register for English placement tests and to ensure they involve in co-curricular activities. So reason number 1, should register. But reason number 2, we see the word to there, to ensure. So these are not parallel. So what do we do? After the word should, a modal verb, should, it is followed by a base form of a verb. So should register, and the next reason, should ensure. So just like the word to, you do not need to repeat the word should. Okay, if you just join with the word and. So international students in Malaysia were reminded that they should register for English placement tests and ensure they involve in co-curricular activities. So remember, if your reasons are not parallel, you can change it in 3 ways. Number 1, you change the word. If you cannot change the word, you change it into a phrase. If you cannot change it into a phrase, you can put it in the form of a clause. Right? Okay. Right, let's do it together. Okay, I just give this topic as an example. Using physical punishment is the best way to discipline children. So what is your opinion? Right, so going back to how we want to do it. Step 1, what do? We brainstorm. So the easiest way, okay, if you do not want to draw a mind map, okay, I think preparing a table is more effective, as you can see both sides. Okay, so this is the topic. And we put it in the form of a table. So, like I said earlier, you prepare at least 3 reasons for each. So, if you agree, you are saying, yes, using physical punishment is the best way to discipline children. So, perhaps we can say that, yeah, physical punishment, okay, is good to teach children a lesson. It can also serve as a warning or reminder, and it has been practiced for a long time. So you see, all these are the keywords that I put because these are the keywords that I understand. So, like what I've mentioned earlier, use the keywords that you understand because you are going to expand or you are going to write your essay based on these keywords. So you should know what to write in the table. Now, let's look at the reasons for disagreement. So if you disagree, you are saying that using physical punishment is not the best way. So you have some other ways to discipline children. You feel that physical punishment is not good. So possible reasons that I can think of would be number 1, lead to physical injuries. Number 2, cause psychological effects. And perhaps it is ineffective, especially for today's generation. Right, so we have all these reasons, remember? So we go to the next step. Choose the best reasons first and then the stance. So, in my opinion, okay, I feel that I want to choose physical injuries and psychological effects. So, it means that going back to the reasons here, I like these two, so it means that I would like to disagree to the statement. Okay. So remember, we choose the two reasons first that you think you can describe more, you have knowledge about, then you choose the stance, which is the disagreement. Okay, so what do? We combine all the elements. So we have the stance, which is disagree, topic, using physical punishment is the best way to discipline children. And our reasons, the reasons that I have chosen is physical injuries and psychological effects. Okay, so we combine all this. It is disagree that, so we have the stance, and then we have the one in yellow, using physical punishment is the best way to discipline children. We have the topic. And we have lead to physical injuries and cause psychological effects would be the two reasons. Now, my next question. Is this correct? Why or why not? Anyone would like to answer? Is this correct? Anyone would like to try?
No, because.
Yes.
No.
Not correct.
No.
Incorrect.
Have to be because.
Very good. So something is missing in between. Yeah. So if we look at it carefully, look at the one that I underlined in red. Discipline children is the topic, and then you jump straight to the reason. Lead to physical injuries. So the topic and reasons are not properly or grammatically connected. Right. So how do we connect the topic and the two reasons? So the first one, and you have to remember that your two reasons must be parallel. So what do? We use because. So if we want to use because, the reasons must be clauses or dependent clauses. What must we have in a clause? We have a subject, a verb, object or complement. These are part of the what we call sentence structure. So I suppose this has been taught by your teachers. Okay? So we need to have subject, verb, object or complement to form a clause. Now, let's say I've chosen reason number one, lead to physical injuries. So, to change it into a subject, verb, object form, we put the word it as a subject, leads to become a verb, and physical injury is the object. Okay, similarly, for reason number two, okay, cause psychological effects, right? So it becomes the subject, results in becomes the verb, and psychological effects becomes object. Okay, if you notice, I changed the word cause into results in, right? So we remember we have to make the reasons parallel. So this is just one of the ways for you to make the reasons parallel. We change the wording, word level. So when we have changed it, this becomes parallel because we have subject, verb, object format for reason one, and we also make it subject, verb, object format for reason number two. So therefore, your thesis statement can be like this. It is disagree that using, this is your stance, using physical punishment is the best way to discipline children, the topic. because. So remember, when we use because, we must have subject, verb, object or complement. Okay, because it leads to physical injuries and it results in psychological effects. So we have, after the word because, we have subject, verb, object, subject, verb, object. So that is how we make it parallel. Yeah. If you do not want to use disagree, you can also write your thesis statement in a different way. It is believed that using physical punishment is not the best way to discipline children. So you change the negative at the topic, right? Because it leads to physical injuries and it results in psychological effects. So, like what you have said earlier, we have to use the word because to connect the topic and the reasons. Yeah. So, is there any other way for you to write besides using the word because? Anyone knows? Anyone knows how to write? If we do not want to use the word because, what can we use? Suddenly.
Can use since or as.
Okay, we can use as, we can use since, right? But we still need to use subject, verb, object or subject, verb, complement. That is the format. Remember, if we use because, as or since, the reasons become clauses. So we have subject, verb in front of it. Now, there is also another way, right? We can use the word because of, due to, or owing to. Sometimes it depends on the topic. You can also use the word in terms of. So, just now, if we use because, the reasons become a clause. Now, the reasons, if we use because of or due to, the reasons become, the reasons are in the form of noun or noun phrase. So, for instance, reason 1, we just take the noun or noun phrase. So, in this case, I would like to take the phrase, noun phrase. So, physical injuries, physical is adjective, injuries is a noun, so it becomes a noun. It is a noun phrase actually. And reason number 2, I just want to take this part, psychological effects. So we have psychological and effects to make it a noun phrase. Yeah. So your thesis statement could be this way. It is disagreed that using physical punishment is the best way to discipline children due to, okay, so we use due to with noun phrase, physical injuries and psychological effects. Or you can also say it is believed that using physical punishment is not the best way to discipline children. So we put the negative in the topic due to physical injuries and psychological effects. So to summarize, if you want to write your thesis statement using the word because, you must have subject, verb form. It is a clause form. If you want to write your thesis statement with because of or due to, we use noun phrase. Okay, we use phrase level. So we put the reasons, the long reasons, make it into a shorter version using noun phrase. In this case, we use physical injuries and psychological effects. Okay, now it is your turn. Right, so I am going to share this link, okay, on the chat. Okay, please look at the chat area. Okay, I have shared a link where you can write the thesis statement and all of us can view it together. All right. So perhaps you can click on the link, okay, at the chat area, and we can try. There are 3 topics. Okay, and perhaps you may want to try and answer or write the thesis statement. But before you type your answers, I want you to write your name, your level, and your section. Right. Okay, so this is the screen. Okay, so please write your name. Here, you should answer here. Right? So this is topic number 1. Okay, exercising is the best way to stay healthy. So how do we write a thesis statement using because and because of or due to? Topic number 2, we have school sessions should be long. Do you agree? Right, and topic number 3, we have traveling to another country is better than traveling in your own country. So I want you to try, okay? I'm giving you just a short while, okay? Perhaps 5 minutes, okay? So that we have time to discuss, because before we move on to topic 7, yeah? Okay, don't forget to write your name, your level, and your section before you type your answers. Keep it coming, don't be shy. I'm not going to report to your teacher, don't worry. We are all here to learn. Come on, keep it coming. Give it a try. It's okay. We can discuss. There are 3 topics for you to choose from. I do not want you to write the introduction, yeah, just the thesis statement. So you do not need to write nowadays people would like to travel abroad because, no, you don't need to. So you just write the thesis statement. Okay, I agree or I disagree, or it is agreed that, I believe that, okay, that's all. Okay, number 2. How would you like to continue with the reasons? Okay, so I'm just going to discuss some of the answers, right? Because we do not have much time, and I want to move on to the next part of the workshop, which is writing topic sentences. Okay, let's look at the first one. Exercising is the best way to stay healthy. So if we use because, okay, it is agreed that exercising is the best way to stay healthy because it creates a better body and it fits the mind. Okay, what do you mean it fits the mind? So I have a little bit of a problem with the word feed the mind. How does it fit the mind? Okay. How does exercising fit the mind? Okay, so perhaps the word fit may not be suitable. Yeah, you may want to change to another word. Right? Okay, next one. It is agreed that exercising is the best way to stay healthy because it reduces the risk of diseases, okay, and depression. Yeah, so you have deleted the word the risk off. Okay, good. Right. It is agreed. Okay, we try not to use the word it's, yeah. It is better for you to use the word it is. Okay, it is agreed with the statement that exercising is the best way to stay healthy because it delivers oxygen and you have to include it improves health in general. Right. Okay, it leads to a healthy lifestyle, okay, and it improves energy level to do daily activities. So I would like to highlight this. Do you see it as parallel? Leads to a healthy lifestyle. Okay, number one, how does staying healthy, leads to a healthy lifestyle? So try not to repeat the keywords healthy and healthy lifestyle. Okay, you may think that it means differently, but if we look at just the thesis, okay, it may not be effective because you are repeating the word healthy lifestyle. Okay, the keyword healthy. So try to stay away from the topic keyword. Right. It improves energy level to do daily activities. So you see, in this way, your clause, the second clause is very long, whereas the first clause is short. Yeah. So you have to improve. Okay, improve on the second clause, okay, to make it short, make it shorter. Okay, let's go to topic number 2. Okay, I'll just pick and choose. Okay, I disagree that school session should be longer because it would limit students' after-school activities and distract their mental health. Okay, all right. Maybe you can say after-school activities or students' co-curricular activities. Okay. Because it will raise costs and limit time for other activities. Okay, good try. Okay, let's look at because of. Okay, school sessions should be longer due to student stress and it can make students tired to study. So you see, I want to highlight this. Okay, remember due to. Due to, we should use, I would like to highlight this. Okay, due to, we need to use noun phrase, yeah? Change the second reason, okay, to make it noun phrase. Okay. Alright, maybe you can change the word tired into fatigue. So, stress due to stress and fatigue. Okay. So, we use word noun and noun. Okay. So, here it is wrong. It is not, it is agreed that school session should not be longer. Okay. Due to complete the homework and get body rest. Perhaps when we say okay, instead of due to, so we just delete the word due. So I just put it here. To complete the homework and get body rest. Get, maybe perhaps I would say the word enough rest. Okay. Right, let's look at topic number 3. I agree that traveling to another country is better than traveling in my own country because of. Here we use the word because or because of. So I'm just wondering, Afrina. Okay. Because or because of? Because of the new culture, it should be new culture, and more likely to be tolerant. Okay? What do you mean? Who's going to be more tolerant? You or? Right, so perhaps, okay, I want to highlight this, okay, because they are not parallel. So, maybe we can say because of, okay, learning new culture and being more tolerant. Okay, so that it becomes parallel. So we have new culture, okay, one reason, and we have ing also in the next reason, being more tolerant. Okay, so I just want to go to this one. I strongly disagree that traveling to another country is better than traveling in my own country because it is safer and cost effective when we just travel in our own country. So cost effective in a way, cheaper, isn't it? So I wouldn't say this is wrong, but perhaps to make it more parallel, we can just say it is safer and cheaper. when we just travel in our own country. Okay? All right. Thank you, everyone, for the good response. Okay. All right. So I am going to share with you the next part of the session, which is on topic sentences. Okay, so part 2, as mentioned earlier, we are going to cover on topic sentence. Okay. So what is a topic sentence? So what's the difference between thesis statement and topic sentence? So just now we have looked at thesis statement as the main idea of the whole essay. How about a topic sentence? Anyone would like to try?
Topic sentence
An
is
introduction
view.
or main point.
Paragraph.
Main point for? Yes, sister, I could not hear you.
Topic sentence states the main idea of the paragraph.
Yes, very good. So just now, thesis statement is the main idea for the whole essay. On the other hand, okay, topic sentence is the main idea for a paragraph. So where do we find the topic sentence? It is the first sentence of your body paragraph. And of course, like what you mentioned earlier, it describes the main idea of a paragraph. So indirectly, or in other words, it is actually like a mini thesis statement for that particular paragraph. So remember, in our thesis statement, we write 2 reasons. But in the topic sentence, because it is talking about just one idea, so we must include only one reason. Because one paragraph can only describe one reason. Okay? So, what do we need to have in a topic sentence? These are the 3-4 things that we need to have in a topic sentence. We have transition, topic, modifier, and also main idea. So, indirectly or in short, to write a topic sentence, we put transition, plus topic, plus modifier, and plus main idea, which is one reason. Okay. So what is how do we write topic sentence? Okay. So number 1, okay, we must understand what is a transition. So we start our topic sentence with a transition word or a phrase. So usually we start with firstly, secondly, or to begin with. Okay, the main reason, another reason. Yeah. So first reason you say firstly. Second reason you say secondly. So if we use the main reason, so the first one you say the main reason why. And then body number 2, you can use another reason why. So what do we have next? We have the topic. So we describe the topic in one word or phrase or clause. So you can say to begin with, which is the transition, using physical punishment is not the best way. So this one you take from the thesis statement. Okay, don't worry, there are some other method also if you do not want to copy from the thesis statement. So one way is to just use the topic from the thesis statement. Yeah. So what do we have next? We have what we call modifier. Okay, before we introduce the idea, we use the word modifier. We use modifiers such as due to, on account of, okay, owing to, okay, because of, right. So we can say due to, on the account of, owing to, because of, Right, so there are many other modifiers that you can use. Right, so how do we change it? So we end with the main idea described in one word or phrase or a clause. If possible, paraphrase the main idea from the thesis statement. Why do we need to paraphrase the main idea from the thesis statement? It shows your ability as a writer to use different words. Because if you just take exactly from the thesis statement, it means that your vocabulary is not so good, right? So in part of the criteria of a band 6, okay, is for you to be able to paraphrase. So you are encouraged to paraphrase the main idea from the thesis statement to make it a little bit different from the thesis statement. So in the thesis statement, we use physical injuries. Remember, we are using the same topic. Okay, you disagree. It's not the best way to discipline children due to physical injuries. So in the topic sentence, we change it to begin with, using physical punishment is not the best way to discipline children due to physical harm. Okay, so they are a little bit different. For topic sentence 2, right, remember we use the word psychological effects in the thesis statement. So in the topic sentence, when we write our topic sentence, we change the word a little bit by using the word psychological consequences. So your topic sentence for body number 2 would be another key factor why using physical punishment is not the best way to discipline children is on account of psychological consequences. So you change it a little bit. Okay, that's what it means by paraphrase. We change some words, okay, to not make it similar to the thesis statement. Okay, now other ways that you can use would be, okay, you can also shorten or paraphrase the topic. So just now we said that physical punishment is not the best way. So we change it to begin with, physical punishment is not recommended, or because of physical harm. So when you write the second body paragraph, you begin your sentence or you write your topic sentence with another key factor to avoid using physical punishment is owing to psychological consequences. So you see, are they similar to the thesis statement? Yes or no?
No.
Yes, madam.
No. They are similar in meaning, but they are not similar in words. Yeah? So
Yes,
the
ma'am.
meaning is the same, but we use different words. That's what it means by paraphrase. Yeah? So it is good, you are encouraged to paraphrase. Right, so our topic sentence should have the transition, which is to begin with the topic using physical punishment, or you can say physical punishment is not the best way, right? Modifier, and then we have the main idea, physical harm. Right? So you change it a little bit, topic sentence 1, to begin with, using physical punishment on the account of physical harm. Avoid using physical punishment on the account of physical harm. So we have transition, we have the topic which we paraphrase from the thesis statement, the modifier, and also the main idea, which is physical harm. Okay, so now the same link, I want you to go to the same link and let's try to write the topic sentence for the thesis statement that I have corrected earlier. Okay, come on. I'm giving you 5 to 10 minutes to write, okay, so that we have some time to for you if you have any questions. Okay, so similarly, you can also choose to write any topic sentence. So our next activity would be write topic sentences, okay, from okay, for the thesis statement written earlier. Okay. So the ones that I have corrected, you can write a topic sentence. Maybe this one, we can try this one. It boosts the energy and it improves the mood. Okay. Okay. All right. So can try this one. Okay. The one that I have highlighted here, the one in blue. Okay. Write the topic sentence there. Okay, this one can also be accepted. Okay. I want to try because of. What is the because of? All because. Nobody used the word because of. All right. So, in some ways, if you use because in the thesis statement, in the topic sentence, you can use because of. Yeah. So, in that way, it can also be a form of paraphrasing. Okay, let me just go through. Okay, we can also have this. Okay. You can write topic sentences for the ones in blue. Okay. Right. Okay, Ainil. It is disagreed that traveling to another country is better than traveling in my own country because it will open our mind to new old experiences. What is new old experiences? New or old? And it will let us see our country from outside of our bubble. Okay. Somehow I see this, quite close to each other. Okay, so perhaps we can just remove the word old here. Okay. Maybe from outside of our bubble, from a different perspective, perhaps. Okay, I want to use the word because of. Okay, this one can also be done. Okay, you can also write topic sentences. Due to, okay, remember due to, it widens our perspective and gain experience. When you have the subject it, then it automatically you are using the word because we have the subject there. So due to is always noun or noun phrase. Yes. Okay. So perhaps maybe you can just say due to experience, perspective, okay, and okay, I'm just and experience. So we have two reasons there. Okay, I strongly believe that is not more better, yeah, it's just better. It's better than traveling abroad because it helps to bond a strong patriotic emotion and support our country's tourism industry. So perhaps the word bond is not a better word. Maybe as suggested here, create a strong patriotic emotion. You don't need to have ourselves, perhaps. Okay, and support, okay, our country's eco traveling, or maybe perhaps our country's tourism industry. Okay. All right. Okay, come on. I need you to give it a try. Okay, let's try to write the topic sentence. Okay, you can change the reason, okay, or you can change or you can paraphrase the topic. Okay, we have one here. Okay, you can also try this one. Very interesting answers there. Okay, a few more minutes, then I will just go through. Okay, some of you can still continue to type. All right, just to share with you a little bit. Okay, so the first one here, I believe that exercising is the best way to stay healthy because it boosts the energy and it improves the mood. So the first, the topic sentences. Okay, to begin with, exercising is the best way to stay healthy due to, no, we do not say stimulate the energy. So due to stimulating the energy or stimulation of the energy. Okay. Okay. Is due to refining the mood. Okay. So we have ing, ing. Right, maybe instead of refining the mood, we don't really refine the mood, yeah. So perhaps you can use a different word rather than, improve the mood. Yes, no, we don't really refine the mood. Okay. Next one, to begin with, exercising is the best way to stay healthy due to transfer energy. Okay, so perhaps it delivers oxygen. It's not well translated into transfer energy. Yeah, right. So, firstly, the best way to remain healthy is to exercise because it delivers oxygen. Yeah, this person writes or paraphrase the topic, which is good. Okay, another way of writing the topic, very good. Okay, right, and you can also do the same thing for the second reason. Okay, secondly, okay, right. Remaining healthy by exercising or trying to remain healthy by exercising, okay, is the best way because, okay, then you can give your second reason. Okay, so remember, you do not only need to paraphrase the reasons, you can also paraphrase the topic. Okay, the main reason why school session should not be longer is because it will restrict students' non-scholastic activities. Aha. Okay. All right, good word. Right. How about the second one? You should have tried the second one. Okay, so after school activities change to non-scholastic activities. Okay, firstly, making school sessions longer, okay, will raise cost. So this is also, I would like to highlight that this person is good at paraphrasing the topic. So students, school sessions should not be longer. Firstly, making school sessions longer will raise costs. Due to what? Okay, very good. Right. Next, keeping students in school longer. This is excellent. Okay. So paraphrasing the topic as well. Not only the topic, but also the reasons. Okay. Will limit make? Are you sure? Maybe you can say will make it difficult for students who participate in extracurricular activities to manage their time. Yes. Okay. All right, good one. Okay, let's try the traveling one. Okay. Okay, this one. Right, to begin with, travel abroad rather than. So usually when we start if we use the word travel, travel is a verb. We do not start the sentence with a verb. So we change it into a gerund. Okay, traveling abroad, okay, rather than traveling. In our own country, it's not recommended, okay, because it enables us to discover new things. So perhaps the word recommended, not recommended, is not really a good word. Why? Because here we are just comparing. We are not saying it is the best way or the worst way. Yeah. So it says just better. It's just a matter of comparison. Okay. Right. So you can say traveling abroad is perhaps more beneficial. Okay. Because it enables us to discover new things. Yeah. All right. That's also a good one. Okay. So you do not only paraphrase the topic, but you also paraphrase the reasons. Okay. Let's have one more. Okay. Right, traveling abroad because it expands our view, okay, due to perspective, right? So because it expands our view, very good. So we use a different word, okay? Another key factor for traveling abroad, okay, or which makes traveling abroad better than traveling locally is what? Okay, because it creates memories. So we don't say is create. So something, there's a problem here. You may want to improve a little bit. Okay. To begin with, traveling in our own country is really beneficial in order to strengthen our spirit of nationalism. Okay, instead of saying patriotic emotion. Okay. This is very good. Okay, I want to just highlight this. None. Okay, to strengthen spirit of nationalism. Another way of saying create a strong patriotic emotion. Very good. Okay. All right. So I think that is all, okay, that I can share with you today. Is there any question that you would like to ask? Okay, we just have a few more minutes before 4:30 as promised. I would like to try to end by 4:30 p.m. if possible. Any question?
It's clear, madam.
Okay, thank you so much. Alhamdulillah. All right, if there is no question, we have come to the end of the presentation. Okay, so I would like to thank all of you for your participation, okay, and your attendance, and hopefully, inshallah, this whatever that I have shared is beneficial to you, and please apply, okay, to improve your writing. Okay, thank you so much. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.
Don't forget.
madam.
Yeah, don't forget to respond to the
Thank you so
evaluation
much.
form of this workshop. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, please. Yeah, because we need to know what your response is, and we need to get your feedback. Yeah, to improve the workshops in future. Okay. Teacher Haslina, are you sharing the slides link here, or you want it to share on WhatsApp? Yes, Teacher Haslina, would you like to share your slides here, or you want to share it on WhatsApp with the teachers? Oh, already shared, yeah? Okay. All right. So thank you very much for your participation and also for your patience. We will announce for more workshops in later weeks. So just stay alert, and probably the announcement will come from your own class teacher. Okay. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Thank you, madam.
Waalaikumsalam,
Thank you.
madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okey Kak.
Ya, selamat dah.
Alhamdulillah dah.
Penat. Izzah punya next time.
Very clear, Nana. Very
Okay, nasib baik tak ada
Thank you.
ada internet
Alhamdulillah.
problem
Thank you, Fazal, for the contribution kan, teamwork.
Thank you. Ya.
Nana, I notice ada one error. My slide tu yang towards the end, yang example topic sentence tu tak sama. You perasan tak? Dia punya, I kena betulkan lah ada one slide tu. Yang example
Tak apa, Kak nampak je lah betul sebab diorang tak boleh betulkan. Nana bagi diorang viewer je.
Okay lah,
ya,
sebentar.
okay.
So
Nanti Izzah dapat editor lah.
are the editors. So I dah tukar dekat setting tadi, so they can just view lah.
They can just view ya. Okay. Lepas tu kan Nana, cikgu nak minta recording. I tak tutup lah recording ni lagi. Sekejap.
Alamak.